Okay, so this video is, man, I'd say 60% self-note, but there's a lot of really good info that I'm going to get into here. Now, I got to first off say that my Daegan Smith blog here, it's been something I've been looking forward to creating or evolving for a while. Last year, I spent a lot of time working on our advertising agency. I still do, but this is one of the focuses that I really wanted. I love marketing, sharing results, and just being a part of that whole evolution and breakthrough process. And I just had to get back to it. And I've been thinking about it over the last 6 months, especially since I was exposed to an article called "A Thousand True Fans." And we'll get into that later. But essentially, what it says is for most businesses, trying to dominate a marketplace is not the most ideal plan. If you can just find a certain small number of customers that absolutely love you and you take care of them, that'll serve many people for a lifetime. And it's a far smarter way to go for a lot of entrepreneurs. I mean, especially like us, because we're not, what we do in our business, we're not Walmart, we're not Pepsi, right? Like, we don't serve everyone. There's a small group of people. We all have weird personalities. We all do our thing, and we all appeal to certain people. And if that's how we are, we're like a very specific type of key that only opens, one type of a lock. But once it's open, there's a lot of wealth in there. But but what that means if is that a lot of times we struggle trying to do the wrong things. And for me, after reading that article, I'd always thought about relationships and value on a more than just conceptual level and on a tangible level, right? Free content, most people think that like you're going to get some sort of reciprocity out of that. That's not what I see it as. And so they see it on this conceptual level. I see it as this. I see free content as you're buying a person's attention. And that's the first step to the sale. Really, it's really one of the most important steps. But it's not what they think. And so then when people don't react and just like love them, right? They start, their feelings get hurt and yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I get that part, but I never thought about this stuff on the level of finding a certain quantifiable number of people that I would just take care of, give the absolute best that I possibly ever could, and watch that process, evolve that process, and ask myself really concise, tangible questions about, what is a true fan? How can I tell if a person is a true fan? Well, there's things you can do. Do they open all your emails? Do they share all your posts? If you look at the blog here, you'll notice, maybe if you were here earlier, I had a like button instead of a share button. Well, I changed that because a like button, people just click like, and that's nice, and you look socially popular and all. But if the goal is really to find a core group of people that you're really serving, and that's the purpose of this blog. I mean, I want to put every ounce of value as far as experience in marketing that I have on here, and then more, and just go balls to the wall with it. And if that's the purpose of this, to give value and create a relationship, then on the flip side of that, if I don't make sure that what I'm doing on my blog is the most engaging thing that I possibly can, meaning it takes more energy for a person to click the share button, think about something they want to say to their friend or their colleague, than it does to just click a like button. But that person that goes through that process is far more engaged. They're getting more out of the process, and long term, they're more valuable to you. And so there's a lot of thinking like that you're going to see as this blog continues to evolve. And one thing that I was very certain of when I first started this was that I really wanted to do, and let's go here, I'll show you exactly what. I really wanted to make sure that I was engaging. I mean, I don't know how else to say it besides that. And one of the things I wanted to be engaging with was by using things like polls and surveys and quizzes, right? A lot of blogs will just give away free content. Hey, this is a great free video. I mean, a nice little like feeling to it, right? But if we really want to create a true fan, then we have to give more of an experience, right? People love their favorite TV shows because it makes them feel something inside. When we do more and we experience more emotionally, then we're more tied to that scenario. And so activity, right, also plays into our mental state, our psychology, and all that. And so for me, I want my site to be as engaging as possible. Not just great content, but how can I make it such that people must interact and learn? And so the first step for me with that was polls. And I checked out all these different polling softwares, or plugins, excuse me. And really what I found was this one that you see right here. This one was my favorite. And it's called WOP-Poll. Now, what I wanted the poll specifically to do was, here's how it was in my mind. Once I know what we're going to talk about for that day or that week, and we have a good, concise idea of what that content's going to be, then let's start out with a question. If today's traffic, or this week's a traffic week, for instance, instead of just saying, here's a cool traffic video, well, what's your problem with traffic? Let me know below, and list out 4 or 5 of the biggest problems. And if people can vote on a poll and then immediately see the entire community's results and see if they're like the average or they're way an outlier, then that's an engaging thing right there. But what I also wanted to do was, instead of just saying, here's some video, I want to ask a question, get a response, and then further that conversation. So in other words, what was really important to me was that whatever poll software I was going to use, it needed to have a redirect function. And this was the first one that I found that had that, and it was simple, and it looks fine, you know, so I was ecstatic to find it. But there's a little problem. The problem with this particular polling software, and let me go in here, I'll actually mess around with it so you can see. Let's go here, WOP-Poll, you can see it down here. And it has everything to do with that redirect. I mean, so in fact, let me just create a new poll. Let's do a demo. And this video might get a little bit long, so if you're ADD or whatever, it's up to you, but you'll get some good stuff out of this. In fact, there's something really valuable that you're going to get out of this that isn't even partly a little bit available to the world. You'll see. So let's call this demo. Let's call this Daegan's demo. Do you like it hot or cold? All right. And so I like it hot. Let's add an answer. All right. Cold. Perfect. Simple little survey. Now, you can mess around with this stuff. You can like make answers default. You can use different types of results bars, blah, 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 blah. But this, you know, I'm just showing you this so you can see how this works. What this is also going to have is it's going to have like a little other thing, like just like you saw on the page before. Polled start dates, for me not really that important, but just so you can see what's back here. View results, you can set it to view results before, after poll ends. So like you could say this poll is going until XYZ date, and after that we're going to display all the results and it's going to blow you away, whatever, just to keep it intriguing and fun. For me, I always want my results to show after a person places their vote. Immediate gratification is a powerful thing. So I'm curious and I want to see what's going to happen next. So that's what I'm setting here. And that's what I'll probably most of the time set. View result permission. Well, I want everyone to be able to see the result. If they vote, they get to see the result. Result display by voter. I like percentage, right? It feels more representative to me. And I mess around with this, so this just displays, the reason I'm deleting this is the first half displays a percentage. This second in the brackets part displays the number of people that voted. And well, if I'm not going to show the number of people that voted, then it's just brackets with nothing in it. So better to just get rid of it, right? All right. So, vote. You can change all this text, so you can pretty much see what goes down here. View results link. No, you can't see the results until after. View back to vote link. No, because once you voted, you don't need to go back. View total votes. No, that's not necessary either. View total answers. No, it's not necessary. All right. And message after vote. Thank you for your vote. This can get changed. What I found out, because I was trying to tweak this, I'll show you what happens here in just a moment. But you can actually put a HTML link in here, which was, for me, it's going to be, excuse me. For me, that was going to be like, well, my good enough compromise. But I found something way, way better. So first, let me show you what was actually wrong. So auto-generate poll, no. Poll URL, you can like put a URL there. You don't have to. The cool thing is you can create what are called short codes. So you'll see that up here somewhere once this is done. And, all right, so let's go here. Captcha, no. Vote permission, everyone can vote. Vote as WordPress, no. Anonymous, vote as anonymous user, sure. We don't care who you are if you want to. Blocking voters, no. Let everybody vote. Limit number of votes per user, yes. 1 vote per person, right? Poll width, I'm going to make my poll width 700. My blog's pretty wide, so why wouldn't I make my poll pretty wide, right? Widget, if I was going to put this on the side like this, then 200, but I'm not going to do that, so it doesn't matter. Percentage decimal, 0, that's fine. Use default loading image, fine. Redirect after vote. This is the dealio. This was what sealed the deal for me to get this bad boy. So this, as soon as I got this, I was like, yes, let's redirect after the vote. And what I wanted to do was, after the vote, so I wanted to say like, okay, so today we have a split test to share, as an example. Here's version A, here's version B. Which do you guys think won? Vote below, and you'll get to see what everyone thought, and then after that, I'll show you the true results. And along with that, I'll tell you why I think I got those results and what I'm going to do next. Right? That's engaging. That's fun. I do that every day. And so let's say that the redirect URL is, let's go here and pull up the blog. And let's pull up a post. Pull up Bill Nye the Science Guy. There we go. Yeah, still got, when you start tweaking with new blog formats, it gets all weird. Like you can see here, that's fine. I don't mind that so much. But up here, I had a little button. It's not there anymore. That's kind of sucky. But whatever, it's fine. It's all good. Fix it later. All right, so let's use this link. I think this is where we're looking, yeah, as the redirect. So after they vote, let's imagine that this is the page where I'm going to say, here's the winner and why. Right? And poll archive and all that, no. Show poll and archive, no. I don't care about that, at least not yet. Send email notification, sure. Notification from Daegan. Here are the results of the poll. Now there might be more fun stuff that we can do here, but I'm just going to make this my regular email. Notification recipient. Well, whatever. We'll mess around with this later because you have to. It's just not worth it. But you see what this is. You can send messages to people who take the poll, and that's all awesome. All right, so our poll's done. That's all you got to do for a poll. So I'm going to click save. Bada bing, bada boom. So I did this, and I was like, yes, this is going to work. This is going to be awesome. All right. So my poll has now been saved. And what I need from this poll is I need, I know, excuse me. One more thing that I need. Let's go right here. All right. Shazam. Very nice. And we're going to get right back in here. And we're going to go to, say our poll is going to be on this page, okay? That's where it's going to be. And that's all we need. Save poll. Oh, okay, my bad. All right, so let me go to all my polls. Sorry about that. And here we go. This poll, Daegan's demo. We should, and give me just a quick second here. We should have, there we go, our little short code. All right, so that's what we put on our blog page. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to the page. What page did I say it was going to be on? That's where it redirects. And I said the poll is going to go on, oh man, where is it? Shucky ducky. Oh, that doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't even matter here. All right, good. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use this one. All right. So I'm just going to log in, edit this post, and here's why this is badass to me, and why I'll be using it on you quite a bit. All right. Let's put that there. We'll just click update. I was all excited at this point. Boom. Now let's go view. All right, so here's our page, video, all that sort of fun, and here's our little poll. Awesome, good to go. Formatting and stuff, I'll talk to you about that later. It's not important for now. But here's our poll. Do you like it hot or cold? I like it cold, which isn't true. I don't like it hot either. I like it right, perfect. But let's say I like it hot. Now, what I was excited about was, okay, awesome. Now, what I'd like to do is after they vote, I want to be able to see the result. Awesome. Oh, you see that, right? Like there was no time to actually see the result. Now, what I wanted to happen was either to be able to display the results on the next page, like for instance this page, here are the results of the poll, and here's the next part of the story. Or have some time on that page so that people could really like, oh, here are the results, blah, blah, blah. And then they could proceed to the next page. And it just didn't exist. So I had to go back to the WordPress guy, this guy here. I had to bug him, and he hooked me up with some really cool stuff. I'm going to show you right now, and hopefully it'll work. I haven't even tested this out yet. And he, I guess on the fly, like literally just created a WordPress, some JavaScript here for me to replace on the script so that I can make it a time deal. So instead of it just being like immediate redirect, I can say, no, I want it to redirect after 20 seconds. So then people have a few seconds to really take a look at the result, and then, they'll get forwarded to the page. All right, so let's go make that change. Let's see what happens here. I'm actually kind of excited about this. All right, so here we go. This goes on this page right here, or this JavaScript right here. So yop-poll-public.js, yop-poll-public.js. Boom. It took me a while to even figure out where this bad boy is. So where this is when you are looking at your plugins, you go to the plugins editor, and this is where all that magical stuff is. So I'm just going to go to my Yop-Poll plugin. I am going to click select, and now I'm going to find that page. I don't know if there's a search function. W.poll. I think public was it, man? My memory. Poll.public. Yeah, I was right. My memory's better than I thought. All right, poll dash. I just saw it a second ago. There we go. Boom. All right, great. So here we are in this specific piece of code. Now this is where it gets, I mean, it's not tricky, but I just got to find where this is. If yes, da 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 da, and I replace it with this. So let's find that. Hope, all right, well, this is going to be fun. If I don't see it fast, what I will do is I'll pause this so you don't have to go through all this with me. All right, let me go ahead and pause it. All right, back. I am back. So I believe I found the right dealio here. I think it's this little piece of code right here. Now, I just used the finder control find to do it. So let's go back here, and I want to verify that it's only like 3 lines worth of stuff. So you got to be courageous as a marketer sometimes. Just got to dig in. Like, I don't really know what I'm doing, right? Like, I'm just like, all right, whatever, let's see what happens. All right, so let's go ahead and take this right here. This is what he gave me. Boom. And we are going to go like this. And this is why I said this is halfway from my own edification. I want to just make sure I don't mess anything up too much. All right, it's gone. Now that's back. In fact, let me get a different version of this because that looks kind of weird for me. Back. All right, so let's see if we can undo what we just did. Undo. Boom, perfect. And let's try that one. That looks a little bit better than what we just had. And, excuse me. So let me follow the instructions as closely as possible. Looks like I got everything in there correctly. I don't think I messed anything up too bad. But I can always go back, take a look, you know what I mean? So let's go back here. Here's where he wrote me this email. Let me look in here. All right. And the delay you want. So the delay you want is this last little piece here. I mean, I think if you take a poll and the results display, if you have like, I don't know, let's try 15 seconds or so. Let's see what that feels like. All right, 15. Boom. I'm going to update that file, cross our fingers. Awesome. So I think we're actually pretty good to go here. What I will do is I'm going to go back to the polls that we had up here, that poll that we just created. And what I want to do with it is I want to edit it real quick, because I should have allowed myself to vote more than once if I'm if I'm going to show you guys how to do this stuff. So limit the number of votes? No. Or wait, yeah, let's limit them to not 1, but 800. Oh, so yeah, so you got to be logged in. So I'm logged in. That should be fine. Just click save. Boom. Everything's saved up good here. I can vote 800 times, hopefully. Oh, one more thing I wanted to show you. So what I was thinking about here was this. So first, I told you my halfway solution was this. So thanks for the vote. Check out the results. You'll be redirected to the next video in 15 seconds. In 15 seconds. If you can't wait, click here to proceed. Boom. Perfect, right? Sexy. And put a little link here. href equals HEP DaeganSmith.com. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's get in here. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little deal like that, and we will once again save our poll. Shazam. So we should be good to go. All right, now we're going to go here, and we are going to go back to our last page. All right, now I'm going to just refresh real quick just to make sure we're good. And hopefully I can vote again. Or else I'll have to pause this and start all over. Not start all over, but create another poll. All right, so let's see. Cross your fingers for me. So this time, I'm going to say other. I like it just right. All right, let's click vote. Let's see what happens. Boom. Oh, man. Still too fast. All right, let's try that again. Maybe one of the most... Oops, sorry about that. Let me pause it. I'll mess around with it. I'll be right back. Aha, so I found the mistake here. You probably caught this before me. See, this is just an issue of me not paying very close attention to the instructions given to me. So the delay is measured in milliseconds, not seconds. So if I put 15 in there, that ain't too much. So let's add a few zeros, like 3 zeros to that bad boy. That's all we got to do, I think. So 15, wish me luck. Click update. Yeah, baby. I think we're good. Let's see what happens. Let's try it again. All right. All right, here we are back at this here beautiful blog. And let's choose, cross your fingers for me now. Choose hot. Click vote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Haha. That, my friends, is what you call a little elbow grease, right? I guess I'll end this with this. There's all kinds of little things like that in your business, right? There's all kinds of, you got to tweak with things. And I'm the type of guy that, I like to get in there and try and figure stuff out. I don't know if every marketer is like that, but that's kind of, I guess, why hopefully I got some value for you, because I'm digging in there with you. I'm not saying, hey, guy over there, go do this. And he's like, some weirdo. I'm in there too with you. And this is how it goes for all of us. Things don't go right. We overlook things. You saw I overlooked something. But we get in, we figure it out, and we get it done. So what we just did there is we just created a very unique version of this plugin that has never existed before. And it was created because I had a very specific intent in mind for why I want to have polls on my site. Because I want engagement, but I also want to give value, post engagement to continue the conversation, and that's more engagement. If we have a conversation, we're better friends than if I just talk at you, right? And this is the sort of stuff that happens when you have specific goals. So I understand when we first get started with marketing, it's all about, I just want to see if I can make money. And it's kind of like, I wonder if this actually works, that feeling. And then it a little bit works, but then for a long time it doesn't really work at all, and you go in the negative. But eventually you end up figuring it out, at least enough to say, here's actually what I want to do. And once you have that specific idea, it drives everything else. Literally what you just saw was, because like I said, I had a very specific want and use for this particular plugin. It is now new and different in a way that it never was before. And it's something that you potentially could use too, right? And that's not so bad. So in other words, your specific goals, your specific visions for what you want to do in your business literally change reality. That's what we did. So a little bit of metaphysics at the end, but that's how the world works. A little bit of rant, a little bit of me just taking notes for me, a little bit of tech stuff. You saw me kind of play in there, right? That's what I like to do. And there's a cool plug in there at the end of this, and some marketing stuff, some psychology. Engagement, so value, right? What does free content create? It creates a certain type of value, gains us the attention of our audience, all right? But the more engaging we can be with that free content, the greater the experience that the prospect's going to have with you, and the greater that experience, the more value they're going to receive. And the more value they're going to receive, the more emotionally positive they're going to feel, right? The better they're going to feel. And the better that they feel, the closer you feel like you're getting to your goal. And if that's attached to you, that ain't such a bad thing. And so, bada bing, bada boom. In fact, share what you think, and I'll see you soon.